right, so by now, I hope that most of you who've been following the channel are able to follow the strategy surrounding, supply and demand. How I go about scalping, looking for high probability setups when the market is actually, trending to the upside or to the downside. Now, sometimes I know that it can be difficult looking for trades, especially when the market's not pulling back to, a zone. Maybe it's just, making, in this case here, like making higher highs and higher lows, but not retracing back to either a supply or demand zone. So as a scalp trader, it becomes difficult to look for pullbacks or retracements to go long, or in reverse of if we are bearish to the downside. In today's market, we were actually very bullish. I mean, across the board. I mean, on both the higher time frame and the lower time frame, and it provided some great opportunities to scalp going long. I'm going to share the trades, a couple of the trade setups that I want to share with publicly to everyone out there, and maybe hopefully you took some of the similar setups. Even if you're not part of the community, which if you want to join, you can definitely do so. It's free of charge to join the Discord. The link is down in the description portion of the video. We invite you in. Come over and join us on the trading floor. But this is how I go about each and every day making money, and you can do just the same and become, consistently profitable. Whether you want to try to make some extra income for you and yourself and your family, or do it full time. I know a lot of people out there who are gravitating, looking for better opportunities now with all the things going on in society and in the world, economically speaking, or maybe you're just burnt out at your job and you're looking for another means to be able to find something that you really are passionate about that you may love to do. Okay, and sometimes that's hard to do unless you spend some time kind of researching things of interest. Okay, even hobbies can turn into things that you become passionate about that you can actually turn into a career. And that's what I did when I was able to turn what I love to do and passionate about, trading, into an actual career. And you can start a business doing it. Now, when it comes to this scalping strategy, it's simple. I'm going to show you just a quick setup in reference to what I like to classify as multi-chart confluence using so what is that? Okay. All right. That's what we're using top-down analysis and using a higher time frame to start with to get the direction of the market correct, and then marking off that particular chart first, the higher time frame, either at a supply or demand zone. In this case here, because we're bullish to the upside in this trending market, then I'm looking for a setup to key areas of demand where there is aggressive buying. Okay, so like right here, this was an opportunity I'm going to show you to where the market broke structure to the upside above these highs here, and it also took out some area structure to the left hand side. So we were reversing right here back to the upside. It pulled back. We have a nice area of demand resting right here, aggressive buying. You can see with these two large candles right here. This was a demand zone. And then what I'll do is I'll mark that up on my higher time frame and then move down to a lower base time frame or lower base chart. For me, I trade range chart. Maybe you trade time charts, tick or volume. Range charts are not going to be comparable with any other style or form of charts. I'll tell you that now, because you have to understand, whatever the version or style of chart you're actually trading from, they are calculated differently. Time charts are based on the amount of time that's passed, when candles are forming and at the beginning of its open to its close. Range charts are calculated basically on the amount of volume that's coming into the market. That's how quickly you will see candles opening and closing. Okay, but again, start off marking your higher time frame zone and then just move down to a lower base chart. I'm going to show you right quick. So this was the zone today. Right here, it formed roughly around let's see here, about between 9:45 and 10 o'clock pretty much, and it pulled back to it around 10 o'clock. So this is when it started pulling back to the zone. The blue box is that 120 range, higher time frame, demand zone. Okay. Now what I like to do then is once the market is as it's retracing back to the zone, I want to be able to see, is there a smaller time frame or smaller base chart? I'll move down to like my 24 range because this is my entry chart. So whatever entry chart you use, move down to it to see if you can redefine find a more precise entry point where there is a high probability demand zone resting on the inside of the larger time frame demand zone. There is one right here. So this is what I'm talking about, multi-chart confluence. One zone marked up on the inside of the higher time frame zone. Okay, so we're bullish to the upside, so I'm looking for opportunities to go long. Nice pullback to this key area of demand right here. once we tap the 120 zone, then we tap the lower base zone here. I'm going to go in aggressive is how I trade, or you can be more conservative. If you get in aggressive, then you're going to be looking for where the market first candle closes right here at 21,849. Go long, or wait for more of a break and close of a candle above, and then maybe go long at 852 or 853 right there. And then from there, we're going to be aiming for, so for example, the market came back right here, it reacted in this area, basically back up to the highs around 887. You can also, what you want to do is look to the left-hand side of your chart to see are there areas or gaps that need to be filled. But right above us, we have this nice area of resistance, so the market could hold up right there. So what did I say, 887. So the market basically goes up there and it taps into this area, these highs right here. So that's what you can basically aim for. Now, if you hold this trade, you can see that the market did come back. If you put your stop loss right here on the back end at 21,843, you're going to get stopped out. This is why I always tell traders, give yourself 3, 4, maybe 5 points breathing room right there. As you can see, all they did was come down here and wick below that area to go back up, because they know people engage in the market to go long here, because this was a demand zone where they originally started moving the market higher with. When you see like this right here, one candle, two candles, all these candles one after another, and the market doesn't pull back, that's the institutions, the banks pushing the market with volume in one direction. So they know people can read this, retail traders can read this, and when the market gets back here, we're going long right here. So they want to come back down to stop you out right here, okay, at some point. Like on the first pullback, they scared most traders out, I assure you, okay? And then when they came back again, they actually stop traders out right here, so you became liquidity in a sense, right? All right. So even right here, this is where they were when the market retraced right here to tap the lower base zone. They engaged in the market right here. This kind of volume to the upside right here is going to be the banks and the institutions. But I, as a scalper, using the strategy and how I trade every day, this is how I go about making money: is looking for their footprints or trails that they're making within the market. When I use this strategy, where I mark up my higher time frame. Once I have a break of structure, it all starts there. I must got a break of structure. I must have a high probability zone where there's an imbalance resting back at the zone, and there is right here. Okay, and if you're not sure what I'm talking about when I'm in reference imbalance or a gap, go to the home page, use the search tool, and type in gap or imbalance, and a couple of videos will populate that you can watch. Okay, but I need that as well. And then when the market comes back, taps my higher time frame zone, and then taps my lower time frame, I'm going long. Okay, and then I'm looking back at my higher time frame to see, okay, where can this thing go to? Where can the market push back up to? At least test this high right here, because it's coming off of a high probability demand zone already on the higher time frame, and we tapped into one on the lower time frame. It's going to go back and test that high. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. This is how I go about each and every day scalping in a trending market. Sometimes if the market is not pulling back to a higher time frame zone or higher base zone, then move down to your lower time frame and trade in the direction with your higher base chart. So if you're bullish, look for pullbacks to key areas of demand on your lower time frame and scalp that way. Okay, you don't always need the confluence of a higher time frame chart as long as you're moving in the direction of the higher time frame, because the market may not pull back, in that session or the next session to a high probability, higher time frame, zone. Okay, so just scalp off your lower base chart, whatever that is. For me, that is my 24 range chart, and I'm going to scalp that way. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. So as an example, I missed this setup right here. Anyone that took it, salute to you, congrats. I had to start looking at my lower time frame, my 24 range chart. As the market was making higher highs and higher lows on my lower time frame chart, I saw this nice area of demand right here, and when the market pulled back to it, I went long off this area. And then we broke structure above these highs right here. Made a new high, came back, broke more structure above these highs right here. If the market would have came back, no, not right here because it's low probability setup, but it broke this area of structure. It eventually came down here and started, it tapped into this demand zone right here. Now, this is an area where we have a break of structure to the upside, leaving behind this area of demand right here. So we have a break of structure and a demand zone. So I'm interested in taking this opportunity, but I'm looking right above and I see we got a small area of resistance where the market can hold up. But not only is it resistance, but it's an area of supply right here. So I'm looking to only take the trade right back up, to this area right here for a very quick scalp. So I just scalped two trades today. One here, aiming for higher areas, because when I looked at the higher time frame chart, this was around about 10:30, 10:35, which is right here. I'm noticing we got these gaps that need to be filled back to the upside. And that's why I went long off of this small area of demand right here, going long back to the upside because we were bullish already, okay? So this is going back to what I was saying. You don't always need the higher time frame for it to pull back to a major or higher base zone, especially if it's not doing that. You can make small scalps off of the 24 range, trading the same strategy. But you have to understand that when you're scalping like this on the 24 range or your lower time frame chart, that's what you're doing. You're scalping and maybe you're holding for like maybe a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1, whatever the case is. But I'm looking at price action to see once I'm into a trade where I can take it back up to, okay? And especially if we are moving higher, and I see on my lower time frame, I'm taking a pullback like right here. This was around about 1033, 1034. Right here, we got gaps over here to be filled. So that's one of the main reasons why I engaged and took that trade as well. So this is what takes place in a bullish market. To the upside, it could have been in inverse of trending to the downside, and I would have been looking for supply setups or pullbacks to supply to go short. Okay. So outside of that, guys, that's what I wanted to cover today. Making money in this business, whether you want to do it full-time or part-time, is very, very It's can be done. Trust that when I say that. We have people that are part of our Discord community that trade similar to and use the same strategy as well. But if you want to join the Discord, again, the link is down in the description portion of the video. Now, if you really want to learn more about and get the inside version, you can become an elite member. And there's basically 2 tiers. You can become a general basic elite supporter or a ultra elite supporter. And with either tier, you receive perks and rewards. In either tier, you receive valuable content and information. There's a lot of video content there. Basically, what you can use more so like for educational or content that can kind of help you understand how I personally trade. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm sharing with you how I trade. So if you become a general elite supporter, what you receive are my trade breakdowns. These are trades that I post over on the Discord community, and I break them down in great detail so you can grasp an understanding of these type of setups. Look for similar ones on the charts when you're back testing and forward testing. That's extremely important, guys. You got to put time on the charts. You can't just jump over and start trading and put money into an account. You have to understand how this strategy actually works. But again, I break the trades down like as if you were sitting right next to me, okay? Or virtually. I'm kind of just showing you and running you through my mindset, what I'm looking at in reference to structure, what I'm looking at in reference to price action, why I took the actual entry, talking about where to place your stop loss, where to take profit at, things of that nature so you understand the strategy as a whole. Now, outside of that, you also receive the video playlist and a great video that I covered for anyone that is interested in understanding more so in-depthly about market structure, okay? That's what you get for $6.99, which is like 24 to 25 cents on the day. Now, if you want to become an ultra elite, you get that, everything I just discussed, plus my live recorded trading sessions. So when I make those videos a couple times a week, you receive the live recorded trading sessions, okay? All right, where you can actually watch me. I'm recording my trading session, and you can, hear me and as I'm talking myself through trades and talking to you as I'm recording, but you also see me engage and take these trades, okay? So you can see where I take the trades at, as I'm trading, where I exit and entry at, because a lot of people want to see that. They want to see where I took the trade at, where I exited at, to kind of help you understand, where you can, enter and exit at and where to place your stop loss, correct? But outside of that, you also receive the market recap videos. I do those a couple times a week too, where I go back and I recap the market and looking at what took place during the session, morning and afternoon, and maybe some possibilities of trades or opportunities that I missed, because I primarily don't trade the afternoon session. I'll go into detail about those as well. But again, if you want to become an ultra elite, it's only $14.99 a month. That's like what, 50 cents on the day. So just think about that. Pennies on a dollar a day. That can be something that can be game changing and change your whole outlook and help you out as a trader as well. So, but that's up to you. I'm just basically sharing with you my personal way of how I trade, and you can, support the channel and receive lots of video content that can help you out as well if you want to become an elite member. The link for that is down in the description portion of the video. Again, once you click on it, it's titled Ultra Elite Supporter. If you click on that, you'll see the tiers there. You can choose the $6.99 tier or the $14.99 tier. Each one, when you click on them, you'll see the perks and rewards that you receive. But outside of that, guys, I appreciate it. If you're not a current subscriber and you have not subbed already through watching this video, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe by clicking that button. Turn your post notifications on. How? Click the bell as soon as you hit the subscribe button. And last but not least, if you found value in today's video, make sure to click that like button for me, on that thumbs up button. It definitely helps the channel out by pushing the content in reference to just getting it out there in front of people that are looking for this same similar type content that they're trying to educate themselves on how to trade the correct way, or something that could possibly work for them, using a simple strategy. Okay, take care. See everyone in the next video.